welcome to All Access, where we keep you up to date on what's happening in Lancaster-Lebanon League lacrosse. I'm Schweigert, joined by sports writer John Walk, who covers the league for LMP and Lancaster Online. John, the boys and girls lacrosse seasons get underway this week, so let's take a look at both of them. From reading the season previews you wrote earlier this week, it looks like the usual suspects are expected to make title runs. Let's start with the boys' side. Who do you think the title contenders are there, and why?
Well, it's again going to be Mannheim Township and Hempfield, but folks also like Lampeter Strasburg. I'll start with Township. They do have some question marks there. They lost 4 guys who are now playing college ball, 3 others starters in addition to that. 2 of those guys were 2 of the top defenders in the league, Griffin Schultz, who's now at Army, in addition to Nolan Sachs. So they're going to have to replace a top defense there. Fortunately, they have 2 really good goalies who are going to go on and play in college that are kind of competing for time. Plus, Mannheim Township has a brand new coach in former Penn Manor assistant Dan Lyons. So it'll be interesting to see how the Streaks adjust to that. Hempfield, they return just about everybody on the defense. It's the offense is kind of going to be where they're going to have to answer a lot of questions. They lost about 4 or 5 midfielders to graduation. They lost their top goal scorer in Zach Ward, who's now starting as a freshman at Cornell and doing pretty well there. So that kind of gives you an idea of what they're going to have to replace offensively. And over in Lampeter, everyone is fired up about the Pioneers. One, because they have a new coach in Marty Mullen, who is a former Immaculata College head coach. And he brings a ton of energy. Just last week, he signed out email saying "Peace out." It's the first and only coach to say that to me. It just kind of gives you an idea of his attitude and outlook on life. But anyway, LS also brings back just about everyone from last year's team that went 8-4 in league play and made an appearance in the district playoffs, and they're pretty fired up about their prospects for this season.
So it seems like there's a pretty clear upper tier of teams in the league, but what happens if some or all of those teams falter? Is there anyone else that you think could kind of make a surprise run at a title here?
Yeah, I'll throw 3 teams out there: Cedar Crest, Elizabethtown, and Warwick. Warwick has consistently been in the playoff picture year in, year out. Wayne Hummer, the coach there, has really done a nice job of keeping them consistently a contender. They do have to replace 8 starters, the Warriors do, so they have some holes there, but they have a huge team. They had some 40-some kids out that are all pretty good at lacrosse, so they should be in the picture as they are each year. Elizabethtown was 7-5 in league play last year and brings back just about its entire defense, plus its top scorer and its top midfielder. So they should be a contender there. And Cedar Crest has 13 seniors, and talking to the coach, Craig Kemline, he said Cedar Crest looks to be the most competitive team they've been in league play ever this season.
Okay, well, let's switch gears now and take a look at the girls' side. We've got 12 teams in the league, and once again, it seems like there's a clear group of contenders up at the top. Tell us a little bit about them.
Sure, and it'll be interesting. I think it's Mannheim Township, Lancaster Country Day, Lancaster Catholic, and Hempfield that, again, they were the top 3 teams last year. I think they'll be the top 3 teams again this year, but they all have a lot of new faces. Township is Township. They're going to reload once again, but they're going to have to replace the high output of Emily McBride, who has since graduated, is now seeing minutes off the bench at one of the top teams in the country at the University of Virginia. Same thing for the Cougars. They lost their top 3 scorers, the best being Kelly Daggett, who's now seeing minutes off the bench at Penn State. So I like both of them kind of being back in the mix, but if they falter, I think Hempfield's going to be right there. They lost about 5 starters to graduation, but they have 5 players back who are all going to go on to play in college, plus another one who's slated to play field hockey in college as well. So they have a lot of talent there. They also have the most tenured coach in the entire league with boys and girls, and Elizabeth Erb, so they know what they're doing there.
Is there anyone else in the league that you think can make a run at the district playoffs, if not, a run at the league title?
Sure. I'll start with Cedar Crest. They're coming off a 4-7 campaign in the league play a year ago. They lost 2 of their best players to graduation, but the Falcons bring just about everybody else back, and 5th-year coach Emma Lebo said her team will be able to compete with just about anyone, provided that they show up game in, game out. Elizabethtown, they're on their 3rd coach in as many years, but I think this new coach, Matthew Ely, finally brings consistency to this team, and this is a program that's still pretty much in its infancy, but yet has still been able to make the playoffs a couple times and has been finished over 500, I think, just about every year except one, and he really likes their prospects this season. I think, given his ability to kind of bring stability to that program, that I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears make some noise this year. I would never count out Penn Manor. I know some folks might hammer me on this being a Penn Manor grad, but they've been, like Warwick and the boys, Penn Manor and the girls has always kind of been there in the mix every single year. They have a bunch they have to replace, but I wouldn't count out the Comets. And lastly, I'll just throw in Lampeter-Strasburg. Now, I know that sounds like a weird pick, but the Pioneers did go 2-9 in league play this year, but they bring just about everybody back this season, and the LS head coach said she has some secret weapons, and she also said that she feels this year is going to be the start of a new LS program, so watch out for them.
Oh, very intriguing. It sounds like both races should be a lot of fun, so thank you, John. Be sure to follow John and the LMP sports staff on Facebook and Twitter for news and updates on all of our spring sports, including lacrosse. Until next time, for John Walk, I'm Keith Schweigert. Thank you for watching.